the Russians have begun equipping tanks with anti-FPV systems called Sanya. According to the developers, Sanya can suppress both single and entire swarms of drones within a radius of 1.5 km. The complex can be installed both stationary and mobile. The detector responds only to FPV drones without suppressing other signals. When the drones disappear, the system automatically shuts down. But so far, not all Russian armored vehicles are equipped with such devices. As you can see in this video, it is still possible to defend against terrorists. And in this video, Russian soldiers are in a hurry to flee after an unsuccessful assault on Ukrainian positions. But a Ukrainian drone catches up with them to say goodbye and teach them some etiquette. The Russians are trying to tie up the tourniquets to stop the bleeding, but it would not have happened if they had stayed at home. Another Russian soldier went into space with the help of a Ukrainian drone. The price of one drone without ammunition is about $450. It is not only difficult, but also expensive to defend oneself. In this footage, the occupier is filming a Russian car blown up by a drone. Obviously, the terrorist forgot that the car was also burning with ammunition. And that was the last time he filmed anything in Ukraine. Ukrainian aerial reconnaissance aircraft filmed Russians dropping bombs on private homes in Avdiivka. Terrorists are doing this to intimidate civilians so that they do not help Ukrainian defenders with provisions and reconnaissance of the area. Ukrainian drones are causing so many problems for the Russians at the front that the terrorists are firing at them with all possible means. But as we can see, so far this has not worked. We continue to destroy Russian tanks. This must be done even if the equipment is simply damaged so that the enemy cannot evacuate and repair it. Despite the successful destruction, the Russians have a lot of military equipment. But the fact that Russia has begun to pull out tanks from the 1950s means that stocks are rapidly running out. In the early morning hours of January 19, 2024, an unknown attack drone attacked an oil depot in the Russian city of Klinets, Bryansk region. A massive fire broke out at the site, which cannot be extinguished. Initially, there were no casualties. Judging by the intensity of the fire, tanks with oil products caught fire. As usual, the Russians blamed Ukraine for the incident. As a reminder, on January 18th, a Ukrainian drone attacked the Kamyshin oil depot in St. Petersburg. On the night of January 19th, Ukrainian drones attacked the Tambov powder plant. An unknown drone crashed on the territory of the Tambov gunpowder plant. The drone crash damaged part of the roof of the mass mixing shop. This plant supplies gunpowder to all Russian weapons, including artillery, cruise and ballistic missiles, bullets for assault rifles, and anti-aircraft guns. Despite all the hatred for the Russian occupiers, the defenders of Ukraine must act according to clear instructions of the international rules of warfare. That is why many terrorists have to be taken prisoner in exchange for Ukrainian soldiers. By the way, we would like to remind you that during the entire period of the war in Ukraine, the Red Cross has never participated in the exchange of captured soldiers. The soldiers of the 79th Separate Air Assault Brigade of the Taurid are defending Ukraine near Novomykhailivka. The occupiers are constantly attacking our positions here. In the Ukrainian armed forces, the infantry is covered by artillery. Its work is controlled by the headquarters, where the screens clearly show where the enemy is moving. One by one, enemy infantry fighting vehicles are replenishing the cemetery of destroyed vehicles near Novomykhailivka. The Russians have been storming this small village in such a massive way for a week now. This number of Russians has not been on this section of the front line for a long time. The occupiers received reinforcements, the 155th Marine Brigade, from the Russian Far East. They are trained for war in such cold weather. However, our fighters have another explanation why they are so persistent in their offensive. Yesterday, 7-8 groups were moving in one direction, despite the fact that we are constantly dismantling them with artillery. I don't know how you can go after the meat of your comrades like that.